we're joining forces with our competitors in local news to help fight poverty in Central Ohio.
I don't know. I really don't know much about poverty. I'm from an upper middle class white family in Naperville, Illinois.
The stats are alarming. The number of American kids living in poverty has reached its highest level in 20 years, and some 500,000 children are living among the homeless.
Education is the key to, getting out of poverty.
I feel like our people have at least been sheltered, at least in some areas,
The community has a big job in helping to address poverty. Housing instability, they have food instability, they have medical care instability.
Well, we're divided up, pardon me, into several different programs. One is the soup kitchen, which I think everybody is most acquainted with. We serve, as recently as 3 or 4 months ago, we've been serving maybe 75 people a night. We're up to over 100 people a night now that come through. No questions asked. They don't need identification or anything. They just go through the line, and we serve them a hot meal.
One of the programs is certainly the Shalom Center, which is excellent. It has been working hard for many, many years to try to provide people with food, particularly, housing, clothing, basic needs.
The food pantry is very, very important. We distribute over 1 million pounds of food every year to close to 24,000 people annually.
Opportunity doesn't come along for some people at all.
INS is something that I think a lot of people are aware of. It's our nightly shelter program. We're involved in pardon me, half a dozen different parishes where our guests can go from church to church, if you will, and have a place to stay.
People in an unfortunate situation, they resort back to the only way they know how to get things, and unfortunately for a lot of people on the streets, it's stealing or robbing someone else or breaking and entering or anything of the sort. It's a direct relationship to violence and how primitive it is to get what you want by taking it from someone else.
The search is on to find a bold gunman who's been robbing stores in Kenosha.
As you stand before the judge, if they've done a lot of things before they get there, well, you think, okay, well, they're interested in seeking treatment. A poor person, a person without those resources, has to stand there and wait for you to sentence them, and maybe you'll say, well, obviously you haven't done anything to try to get treatment in this matter, so you need to go to the jail, because we have treatment there.
We were stuck out in your car. You were rubbing both my hands.
There are 18 million children in poverty in this country. It's kind of like in Cooks County out here, it's about 22% children.
If you start with the juvenile court, if you start with the neglected and abused children, oftentimes those families have few resources, both human resources as relatives and friends that can help them out, but they have very few financial resources.
Challenges. Where do you really start? I think the challenges are recognizing the needs of the clients that we serve, getting them into the right programs, and then providing sufficient help so that they do get out on their own.
I feel like what's best for people in that situation is to provide them with a skill set that can create something that can make them money.
been plenty of people that have like started from poverty, but with education, they're able to, you know, climb up the ladder and eventually become successful.
The Urban Outreach Center is also another place that helps people in these circumstances. But the community works hard at it. We could all work harder, and we could all be a little more generous in their fundraising because they need the money.
So we try to broaden the base of understanding to incorporate, you know, all of our programs. And we have, as I mentioned earlier, just dozens of different faith groups. The Jewish community has been staunchly behind, you know, what we do, but we have the Lutherans and Catholics and Episcopalians and the Unitarian Church, and they've all come together with this single mission. I think as long as we continue to use that as our target focus, we'll go a long ways.
Just because they have a good work ethic, maybe they just don't have opportunity.
His skin widens in flooded veins. Breathe in, exhale.
United Way helps so many people in need, and the Meals on Wheels program is just one of many.
Slaps the